Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Sarasota. We're here to support you in finding a personal relationship with the God of your understanding and in discovering what you already know. I'm Reverend Jaryn Nelson, the founding minister and spiritual leader of the Center for Spiritual Living, Sarasota, and I greet you with Namaste. Namaste is Sanskrit, and it means the divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. And now let's begin by joining our voices to read aloud our vision and our mission. The words can be seen on your screen. Our vision is empowering spiritual growth as a loving, inclusive, worldwide community. And our mission? We teach science of mind principles and other life-affirming spiritual truths. We explore, learn, grow, connect, honoring all paths to God. We offer in-person and online weekly services, classes, workshops, affirmative prayer support, and other spiritual tools. And we create opportunities for joyful social connection, community outreach, and service. And we celebrate the awakening of our innate spiritual magnificence. And now, I invite you to join me in pausing, taking a few moments to go within. I encourage you to get comfortable, relax your body, close your eyes, allowing your mind chatter to slow down and your breathing to be gentle. Find your inner stillness as Bob Teesdale musically sets the tone for us with Donna Michael's song, A Comforting Reassurance, God is Holding Me.
I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. 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 I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me.
With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. God is holding each one of us. I invite you to take these affirming words to heart, letting them renew your spirit. God by any name is the beloved one, the one mind, the one intelligence, the one spirit, and the consciousness of each of us as its center of creation and activity. We easily allow Spirit to be the shepherd of our life as it divinely guides us into paths of perfection and experiences of infinite joy. We are comforted to know that Spirit's perfect action can never cease or be delayed. Always it guides us, always it inspires us, always its perfect action through us blesses and benefits all. We rejoice in this, our inner source of truth, for it never fails us. Each moment of every hour, its truth sustains us, and we are led into clear thinking, which inspires us to do the loving thing, to speak the loving word. We confidently follow the leading of our wise internal shepherd. Its strength and power uphold us. Its divine wisdom guides us and leads us toward our ever-available highest good. And we gratefully rejoice in its wise instruction. The divine doer in us knows what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. We release all uncertainty from our thought, clearing the way for Spirit to deliver every divine idea to us at the exact instant of time in which it is needed. We allow all doubt to dissipate, and we give thanks for the truth being revealed in all areas of our life as we allow ourselves to be avenues for Spirit in this world. God is gently holding each of us, and we allow its presence to show the way. And so it is. And now, in the spirit of our vision, which states empowering spiritual growth, we have a special New Year's gift for you, empowering your spiritual growth. January Sunday messages are featuring each of our dynamic spiritual practitioners, Ron Frost, Kathleen Frankert, Jim Grove, and Jaryn Nelson. Their theme is Back to the Basics, and it will provide a spiritual launch pad for your new year. Now, on the past 2 Sundays, we've heard Ron Frost's message, Back to the Basics, Part 1, The Thing Itself, and Kathleen Frankert's Back to the Basics, Part 2, How It Works, in 8 profound words. And you can hear both of these, see both of these on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page anytime. And it's a joy to introduce today's guest speaker, licensed spiritual practitioner, Jaryn Nelson. Among many other things, Jaryn is our pop-up prayers practitioner. She created this unique vehicle on Facebook and YouTube for expressing a few weekly moments of down-to-earth, inspiring spiritual reminders, along with a prayer and affirmation that anyone can take to heart. At her very first mention of this idea a few months ago, I can tell you my heart sang with a resounding, yes, do it. There will be more information about these at the end of our broadcast, so do be sure to check these out. Jaryn's musical talents have also enriched us greatly. She has frequently enhanced our Sunday messages with the golden tones of her sweet singing voice. She's on a break right now, but I am eagerly looking forward to her musical return. And along with our other 3 practitioners, Jaryn has always been a generous support of our center in countless ways, stepping up in selfless service to help with whatever needs to be done. Jaryn's genuine and fervent dedication to her spiritual deepening is an inspiration to me, and I know her kindness, her authenticity, and spiritual consciousness bless all who come into her presence. Jaryn will definitely lift and give you much to ponder with her message today. Back to Basics, Part 3, What It Does. But first, to open our hearts to receive Jaryn's message, Bob is going to sing Daniel Nahmod's I Don't Need to Know.
When things go wrong, it's natural to wonder, what celestial rule did I break? When things go right, it's logical to ponder. What credit can I take? But the truth is so much easier. I don't need a master plan. I can live here in the moment, 'cause my life is in good hands. And I don't need to know where the wind blows, 'cause God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds, because God knows. I need never know how the pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. But I still find I'm crying out for answers. Guess I'm still craving control. And still I find I'm afraid of taking chances, as if I could damage my soul. But at this moment I remember, it comes so clear to me, that the minute I surrender, I'm as safe as I can be. And I don't need to know where the time goes, 'cause God knows. And I don't need to know what the future holds, 'cause God knows. I need never know how the pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. I need never know how the pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go. I can just let go. I can just let go, 'cause God knows.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of a 4-part Back to Basics series being offered by the 4 licensed spiritual practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Sarasota. On part 1, we heard from Ron Frost, who spoke on the thing itself. And last week in part 2, Kathleen Frankert spoke on how it works in 8 profound words. If you haven't already checked out those 2 talks, I encourage you to do so when you get the chance. I'm Jaryn Nelson, and whether you're watching this in real time or after the fact, I want to thank you for tuning in. Today, we're looking at Chapter 3 in the Science of Mind textbook, titled What It Does. Of course, it refers to spirit, the universe, life, the thing itself, God by whatever name you call it. However, what we call it really isn't as important as how we conceptualize it. The reason for this is that our concept of God directly corresponds to our experience of life. So for now, we can just let that idea simmer on the back burner of our minds. If I could take a survey of the approximate 7.8 billion people on the planet about their conceptualization of God, it is my hunch that a good number of them would currently hold or would have previously held a fear-based, negative, and somewhat confusing idea of God's nature. Yet our concept of God is of paramount importance. So before we dive into our discussion of what it does, I thought it would be valuable for each of us to briefly examine our personal concept of what the divine is and isn't. So if you would, please indulge me as I put God, spirit, the thing itself on trial. This court is now in session. First, we're going to hear from the prosecution. Now, the prosecution claims God is cruel, indifferent, judgmental, vengeful, deaf, angry, temperamental, impossible to please, unavailable, biased, untrustworthy, withholding. Overall, a manipulative, punishing, game-of-life designer, rigging life so that some, if not all, are left unsupported, miserable, and hopeless in their quest to find a way out of the hellish maze of life. At present, there may be up to 7.8 billion witnesses willing to come forward and testify for the prosecution. Next, we'll hear from the defense. The defense claims God is goodness, unconditional love, acceptance, benevolence, an attentive listener, a philanthropist, joy, peace, integrity, a trustworthy guide, an ever-present presence, infinite power, infinite intelligence, overall a creator and co-creator with its creation, offering infinite opportunities to exercise free will and accept the good it has generously given to all. As with the prosecution, there may be up to 7.8 billion witnesses willing to come forward and testify for the defense. Now, before both the prosecution and defense call forth all their witnesses, let's take a recess. At this particular juncture, what are your thoughts about what has been presented in this trial? Do you tend to agree more with the prosecution or the defense? Are there perhaps descriptions from both the prosecution and the defense that seem true in your experience of God? If so, how might we reconcile these discrepancies? Let's see if we can gain some insight into this by looking at the Native American parable, The Fight of Two Wolves Within You. An old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life. "A fight is going on inside me," he said to the boy. "It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." He continued, "The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." So here's the thing. What it does entirely through us, through our mind. It does unto us as we believe its nature to be. Kathleen talked about this in her talk last week. And the kicker is, whatever we believe to be true of God will shape our experience of God's doing and beingness in our life. Our God concept either allows or hinders the flow of what it does in, as, and through us. This is true because our mind is one with divine mind. And because our mind is always active, court is perpetually in session. Every moment of the day, all 7.8 billion of us on this planet are simultaneously the witness, judge, and jury. We get to use our free will via the thoughts and beliefs we choose to come to the verdict of what is and isn't true of God's nature. We choose which concept of God we wish to feed and energize. Inherently, spirit has the power, desire, and willingness to give up its goodness, but spirit will not force its will onto us. Of course, it's not that our beliefs actually change the unchanging nature of God, but rather our receptivity or lack of receptivity to the true nature of the divine determines how much divine infinite good is able to flow into our experience. Therefore, the importance of having a concept of the divine that is rooted in truth cannot be overemphasized. At this point in the discussion, I'd like to introduce two aspects of divine doing, love and law. Love is divine givingness that spontaneously gives its good to all alike. Law is the way, the how, the method through which love gives of itself. Earlier, you heard Bob Teesdale's beautiful rendition of Daniel Nahmad's "I Don't Need to Know, 'Cause God Knows." In this song, we are reminded that we don't need to concern ourselves with the details because God, as law, is taking care of that part. We can also think of law as the doer, the ever-faithful, compliant servant doing through you in accordance with your beliefs. The most important thing to keep in mind about law is that it is impersonal, unbiased, predictable, and unchanging. Law will never argue with whatever seed in the form of a thought, belief, or emotion that you plant in its fertile soil. Law always says, "Yes, as you wish, let's get her done," and so it is. Depending on your God concept, we may or may not like the harvest that we reap. In the third chapter of the textbook that we're currently discussing, Ernest Holmes, the originator of the science of mind philosophy, states that we should avoid two grave mistakes, either viewing life as made up only of mechanical laws or viewing it as made up only of spontaneous actions, irrespective of law and order. The mechanical laws of nature are set and immutable, but the spontaneous recognition of these laws gives us the power to bring them into practical use in everyday life and experience. The laws of the universe are to be trusted, but we must come to understand them. Once understood, any law is available and is impersonally responsible to each and all alike. So for example, the law of gravity doesn't argue with you if you decide, after ingesting quite a bit of liquid courage, to do your first ever backflip as a party trick to impress the other party guest. The law of gravity says, okay, my friend, I'm here for you. Here we go. Whee! And that may or may not end up being your best use of the law of gravity, right? Now, do you think it would make sense to blame the law of gravity if things didn't go so well for you during that party trick and you ended up with multiple broken limbs? I think we would all agree that gravity was just doing what gravity does. That which goes up must come down. In contrast, in 1903, Wilbur and Orville Wright were successful in designing and flying the first motorized airplane because they took the time to learn the laws of nature that were needed for them to be successful. Understanding the laws of nature breeds respect for the law and the right and beneficial use of the law. And I imagine we'd all like to be more skillful at using law in a way that allows for a positive experience. Ernest tells us that we are immersed in an infinite intelligence, a mind that knows all things. This intelligence can acquaint us with its ideas only as we are able and willing to receive them. But before it can reveal its secrets, it must have an outlet through our own receptive mentalities. Spirit imparts of itself only as we partake of its nature, only in such degree as we embody its intelligence. Our thought and conscious receptivity differentiate this universal possibility. Each state of thought taps the same principle, each uses the same law, but each draws forth a different result, only insofar as our thought and action tend toward a constructive program will it eventually succeed. I imagine by now you're getting the very clear picture that we are indeed surrounded by infinite intelligence, infinite possibility, divine love, divine givingness, law, goodness, and life itself. As it expresses and gives of itself through us, it actually becomes more fully conscious of its own being. Therefore, please know that it desires to express and do through you. In the 1967 book, Thoughts Are Things by Ernest Holmes, he tells us that there is nothing in the universe that limits you or that would or could desire to limit you. There is nothing in the universe that withholds from you because in so doing, it would withhold from itself. You are some part of its purpose. The Spirit seeks, urges, pushes against you to fulfill itself. No matter how abundantly the horn of plenty may pour out its universal gifts, there must be a bowl of acceptance, a chalice of expectancy, or the gift cannot be complete. Ralph Waldo Emerson advised us to get our bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circuits. It seems Emerson is referring to our small self thinking in this quote. Now, in a few moments, Bob Teesdale is going to encourage us through song to get our bloated nothingness out of the way and connect with our higher self as he sings an Eddie Watkins Jr. favorite, "Get out of the way and let God do its thing." But first, in closing, let me share these words from Ernest Holmes. When we think, something happens to thought. The field through which thought operates is infinite. Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. And how much of it may we have to use? As much of it as we can embody. And speaking of our thoughts, please be sure to join us again next week when practitioner Jim Grove will wrap up our Back to Basics series with How to Use It, Creating Your Life One Thought at a Time. Namaste, and thank you again for being here. Now Bob is going to get us moving and grooving and getting out of our own way. Take it away, Bob.
Running around, fixing this and that, giving up God and then taking it back. Just release and let go. You don't even have to think about it no more. You get out of the way. You get out of the way. Well, get out of the way. Let God do His thing. Well, it looked like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what it is if you wanted to. So get out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let God do His thing. Shine and the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say-so. The universe is working, the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed and dig it up to see if it's growing. You get out of the way. You get out of the way. But get out of the way and let God do His thing. You get out of the way. Get out of the way, let God do His thing.
Oh, thank you, Bob Teesdale. I'm getting out of the way. Getting out of the way. How about you? Get out of the way and let God do its thing. And thank you, Jaryn, for your inspiring message, giving us so much to take with us into our week. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota, we want you to know that we are available to support you in knowing the power and presence of your spiritual essence. And to do that, we offer prayer, inspiration, encouragement, and opportunities for virtual community and connection. And we really appreciate your financial gifts in support of us so that we can continue to be in support of you. Now, there are 3 simple ways to share your gift. On your screen, you'll see our website where you can select the Donate button, which allows you to contribute via PayPal or credit card. Or you can mail a check to our address shown here on our website. Or set up automatic contributions through your own online banking. Our website again is www.cslsarasota.com. And now I invite you to take your virtual gift in your hand and place it over your heart. Bless it as you share it, and know with me, my gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. And the divine flow returns it to me, multiplied abundantly. And please join me in our offering affirmation shown on your screen. I give thanks that I may share of my good, my love, and my support. Thank you so much. Now, one more thing. Did you know that your financial support of our center also does good work in the Sarasota community and beyond? The Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota is a tithing community, and that means that we believe in sharing 10% of our financial good with local and national causes and organizations that are in tune with our vision of empowering spiritual growth as a loving, inclusive, worldwide community. So it is our joy to announce our tithe to Second Chance Last Opportunity of Sarasota. Now, their vision is to serve as a gateway to hope for individuals who want to change their lives for the better. Their mission is to empower individuals in crisis by providing them with essential tools and skills so they can manage their lives more productively. So thank you, our team of financial contributors, for making it possible for us to continue supporting you and also to tithe to this organization's important work in the world. You know, classes, prayer support, pop-up prayers, spiritual living circles, and tithe recipients, each of these is an example of our vision of empowering spiritual growth as a loving, inclusive, worldwide community. And now, would you like prayer support? Do you have a prayer request? On our website at www.cslsarasota.com, notice the green prayer request button, which allows you to send us your prayer request. And our 4 licensed spiritual practitioners, Kathleen Frankert, Ron Frost, Jim Grove, and Jaryn Nelson, stand by, ready to know and affirm spiritual truth with and for you, no matter the situation. Now, would you like news of upcoming events? Well, sign up for our weekly email newsletter right here on our website, or click on our Facebook link. Now, I have 2 more reminders. Pop-up prayers with our spiritual practitioner, Jaryn Nelson. I talked about these already, but here are the details. These are 5 to 10 minute videos focusing on a particular topic with a short reading, an affirmative prayer, and an affirmation to take with you. These videos are posted once a week on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and in our weekly e-newsletter. So it's another reason for signing up for our newsletter. Jaryn welcomes hearing from you regarding prayer topics that you'd like her to use. Just send yours to her email on your screen. Also, you can scroll through the topics addressed in previously posted pop-up prayers and find the encouragement and support you need for whatever you're going through at any given moment. And finally, so popular, every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m., our spiritual living circles via Zoom and open to all. They're facilitated by our licensed spiritual practitioner, Jim Grove, and this is a great time to connect in community. These circles are informal, inspiring, thought-provoking, and they're free. So email Jim Grove at the address you see on the screen to receive this week's Zoom link, the discussion questions, and a copy of the Science Mind magazine article to be discussed. This week's article is such a good title, Release What No Longer Serves. How timely. So now, as we conclude this sacred time together, let us move forward into our day and our week in love, in gratitude, in joy, and mostly in peace. I invite you to join in singing our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. The words will be on your screen. And thank you for being with us. Now have a wonderful week, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth